Welcome to another edition of the Five Star Zone. I'm your host, Rico Beard, and man, things are getting crazy out there. Look, I know the transfer portal has created a whole new element when it comes to sports, college sports, the thing that we all love and hold near and dear to our hearts. Why do we love college sports so much? Because you pick your team and you normally keep that team for life. You wear the colors, you hate the opposing colors, you hate the rivals, you hate everything about them. You may respect them, but most of the time you don't even respect them. You just don't like them. You never wish them any good fortune. But that's the nature of college sports. That's just how it is. For as much as you love your team, there's somebody out there that hates your team equally as bad, which brings us to the latest dilemma that just happened. And I like to say it would be an isolated incident, but I don't think it's going to be. I think that this is what college sports is turning into. And sadly, to the detriment of a lot of people, it's hurting your desire to really focus and just have that desire for each upcoming season, knowing that, okay, these guys are going to get better from the previous year. They're going to beat the rivals. They're going to beat the whatever team. I'm talking about what happened with Michigan and Michigan State. And it actually looked as if there was a trade, but that's actually not the weirdest thing that happened. It's kind of happened a bunch of times. But let's just stick with Michigan State. Okay, so Jaden Mangum, the starting safety for Michigan State, goes into the portal. Now, I don't know why, but I think it was more so because of what happened with his brother. His brother, I think he kind of got processed out of Michigan State. He transferred in from Central Florida and from Colorado, Central Florida, and now he's at Minnesota. Jaden, the younger brother, was starting safety at Michigan State. Jaden played a lot of games. Jaden was going to be a key contributor to the Spartan secondary next year. Jaden also had a history of getting injured. That's not slander. That's just facts checking and see what happened with him. So Jaden goes into the portal, and it's weird because Michigan kept, he would always talk about the official business. Like, he really couldn't go to Michigan, could he? Not only did he go on the official visit, Jaden committed to Michigan, the University of Michigan. Yeah, the same Michigan team that talked about you, that basically came to Spartan Stadium and just dropped a hammer on you. And he went there. Now, it seems weird. Now, for this young man, it's a business decision. I don't begrudge, I don't fault him. I wish him nothing but luck there. It's just the nature of college football. It would be very difficult for me, or I think any Spartan fan, to say, okay, well, now we're going to go ahead and wear Wolverine colors. And the same with Wolverines, wearing the MSU colors or Ohio State colors or even Notre Dame. It's just where it is. But it's the funny and ironic thing was it sparked a visceral reaction from former MSU players who came out and just it started before he even accepted it. Like Tony Lippett, RJ Shelton came out and they were very vocal on social media. And it was just like, what are you doing? You just don't do that. Well, he actually committed, and former Spartans from all over. I saw Mark Dell said, you know what? You could, even to this day, you could never get me to wear those colors. Current players came out and had something to say against Mangum about going to the University of Michigan. That's what makes it so weird. Now, I don't know. I don't know how all of a sudden you have the love for Michigan leaving Michigan State. And the same holds true for if you go from Ohio State to Michigan or Michigan to Ohio State, like Boring did years ago. It's weird. Now, here's the funny thing that happened. About an hour or so later, I guess the trade was finalized because Samaj Bridgman, a linebacker, a redshirt linebacker from Michigan, leaves Michigan and goes to Michigan State. Now, Ben Van Sumeren just did this not that long ago. And it's weird because Bridgman, Samaj, I have no idea. He redshirted. He played in a couple games. He redshirted. People are saying, well, who won the trade? I don't know, because if Mangum goes out there and plays, then he won. if Samaj comes in and pulls a Kenneth Walker, then obviously MSU won. Now with Mangum's going to be tossed in the room, and as of now, I don't know. He went from starting at Michigan State to he may be a bench player at Michigan. We have to wait and see with this new staff and with Samaj. He's going to be in the rotation. I don't know what he's going to do. Doesn't matter. The reality is, this is something that just it makes it difficult to watch your college football team because it's the loyalty. It's the thing that was universal. Was I knew that all my Michigan friends would always love Michigan and hate anything that's Michigan State. But now with the portal, heck, man, that star player may all of a sudden become your star player. And can you just forget the fact of where this kid came from? More so for the players, can you just forget the fact and just embrace this person into your new brotherhood? It just seems very weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But then again, maybe I come from a different generation. And it's not just Michigan State. This has been going on for years. But heck, just recently, Antonio Kite leaves Alabama. He goes to Auburn. What? Yeah. Alabama, Auburn. Like, it's happening across the board. Now, I think as the years progress, it's going to happen more and more. The kids are just going to see an opportunity rather than see the loyalty. And that's going to be a problem for some fans. And it's what's going to turn a lot of people off of college sports, because it was about, you know what, my guy was my guy. And then the portal happened. It's like, okay, well, my guy is my guy this year. And then he may be going someplace else, but I'll still follow his career. Now, if you were a Jaden Mangum fan, you can't really, if you're a Spartan fan, can you now root for this man's success at the University of Michigan? Or, it's weird. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And just maybe this is why with the new college football game that's being debuted, maybe this is why people are really enjoying it, because you can go back to making college football the way college football should be. It's funny because Friday's show, Mike Valeni, my radio partner, was like, yeah, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make my own teams. My players are going to be loyal to me. And it seemed funny and petty at the time, but maybe that's just what we all need is you just go out and you buy the college football game and you create your own teams and your players stick to your team. And even if they have a phenomenal year, they're still going to dress up and wear your team colors and run out your team's tunnel and play for your team that you grew up loving. That's the new nature of college sports, man. You're seeing a lot more in basketball. It's happening in football. Going back and forth between the rivals. Friday was a weird day, man. I mean, it was. It's going to be interesting to follow the careers of these two young men to see how it all pans out. Because here's the funny thing about it. For everybody who's getting all up in arms, these two could leave and transfer next year during the season, and they'll just be a footnote in history. Somebody asked me, what's Mangum's legacy at Michigan State? And I said, sadly enough, he just created his own legacy, whereas he's going to be the guy that left and he went to University of Michigan. You're going to forget about all the things that he did, the interceptions and the big-time tackles and plays that he made. You're going to remember the fact that he left. And for Samaj, I guess Samaj never really had a legacy at Michigan. He was a redshirt. He was highly recruited. He's a four-star linebacker. We'll have to wait and see. But it's weird. It's different. It's college sports. You don't have to like it, because I'm not a big fan of it either. But as the days go on and on, I'm really looking forward to the fall, because I'm hoping that the fall will bring back the passion that I once had for college sports. Because with moves like this, man, you just kind of shake your head and they become more and more professional. It's like, yeah, it's like David Montgomery going from the Chicago Bears to the Detroit Lions, and now you're supposed to like him. It's like, well, he was a Bear, but now he's a Lion. Or even, back in the day, Chris Chelios going from the Blackhawks to the Wings. Like, well, I guess I have to like him now. But college was different, man. It was, you can name former player from years ago and you still have the same visceral hate. Not anymore, because that player could be on your team. Just spin the wheel and we'll see what happens. Anyway, Just wanted to give you my thoughts on what happened during the transfer portal weekend for Michigan State. Will be more later on this summer, especially as we get closer and closer to football season. But for right now, thanks for listening and watching the 5 Star Zone. Keep liking, subscribing, and I'll be back soon.